All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Adoptee Foster, where we say the uncomfortable things out loud over here on the Real Precious. Guys, if you're just joining, definitely hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. We have special guests. Show them some love. Hit that like button, share this live, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you guys know when we go live. Tonight we have a very special show. I'm so honored to have the ladies up this evening. Sisters figuring it out. Tonight we have Jasmine as well as Calais here this evening, who we will be speaking to about adoption, the trials and tribulations, these experiences, and just a sister dynamic. I'm so excited to get into this. So without further ado, you guys definitely welcome Jasmine and Calais. Welcome them. Ladies, how are you doing this evening? Oh, hold on now.
Are we?
I just unmuted us. Okay. We're doing good. How are you?
Yes.
Doing good. Can't complain at all. Like I said, I'm very excited about this show to have sisters. We have so many different dynamics on the show, and you're the first set of sisters we've had on the show. So thank you for being the first set of sisters and volunteering. I love when people come into my inbox and be like, what's up with the show? You know, I love it because a lot of adoptees don't volunteer, information about their lives. And I think that we're in a time where we are not afraid to do that. We've reached a place where we can share. I know there was a time where I couldn't talk about my adoption without crying. And so I'm at a place now where it's just like, it's my story. It is what it is. So thank you so much for being here. Leon, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Good. How you doing? Welcome, ladies. We hope to have a great show tonight. We appreciate you guys. I know it's not, like Precious said, it's not easy for people to get on platforms and tell the stories, but we are seeing people actually do that more. And we need people speaking out and speaking about the things that are uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm gonna say hello to some of the folks in the chat. I see Fish in the Fig. Good evening, everyone. Terica, good evening, everyone. That's actually my sister, so she is in the chat. Yeah, I'm the oldest of 7. It's a lot of us. So before we get into it, I have a couple of clips that I took from your page because I think there are pivotal points in a lot of adoptees' lives. And so before we get into that, I do want you ladies to just let us know how you decided to come on social media and say, you know what, we're going to do this and be vulnerable.
This is something that she's always wanted to do. She's tried podcast after podcast, and it was just not working. And I always feel like things are God's timing. And we just recently got back to a good place. We weren't speaking for about 2 years. And this time we could feel like the difference. And I'm like, this is the time.
Yeah.
While we're going through it, let's just be honest and transparent with each other, and let's record it. And we have gotten so much love. And I'm like, this is what I mean about God's timing.
Yep. Jasmine, you want?
I didn't know if you wanted me to say something, but no, I think we both have like this. Oh my goodness. We have like this great dynamic, like we just bounce off of each other. So I feel like I knew it was gonna work out, and I think we tried this before, like many years ago, to try to get to this point to where we could have this conversation, but we both were not in a good space to even know where to begin. Like our communication, and I feel like our energy and everything is just so different now. And we even have like deja vu moments where it's like, this just feels like we've done this before, and it just feels good. And to also share, like vulnerable things where people are reaching out, like, thank you so much for just saying something. And it just, it just feels good that we're able to do this and heal our relationship as well and share the healing while we're, going through it live. So some of these conversations we'll text about and we'll be like, save it for the camera. So
yes. Well, thank you for being hot. I always say hot, honest, open, and transparent, right? Let's have hot conversations because that's the only way we're going to get through some of the stuff that just lays dormant or we just don't address. So thank you for having that courage to do that. So that's where we are now. Okay, we're going to have to flip it and reverse it, like Missy said, and go all the way back. I always ask our guests, what happened to you that made you an adoptee? So I guess we have to go back to the beginning. Your sisters, were you both adopted or not?
No, I was just adopted, but the dynamic of the adoption is I was adopted to a family member. So we were always around each other. We were told that we were cousins for a period of time. So we lived in, two separate households. We just played together. And one day it was just like, she told me like, you're my sister. And it was just like, from there, I'm like, what? Like, well, how old were we?
Well, I'm like, I like details. So she was given up for adoption because she was the youngest. I'm the middle child and we have an older brother.
Okay.
She was born, my mom was 21 with 3 kids. She couldn't do it from what she said. And so since she got adopted at 2 days old or something like that to our great aunt who didn't have kids, was older, was very much so like churchy and strict, and who was also sheltered at the same time because she had still lived with her mother. And she still lives in the same house as her mother.
We're getting told all of this information. We're finding it out. And we just like, all right, go to bed, wake up. We sisters now. Mm-hmm. And there was no nobody to sit down and talk to us or, the guidance on how to now figure this out. Now I'm going over their house and staying with, our mom. It just was like, this is what it is kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, Jasmine, if you was told that if you both were told that each other were sisters, then what was the dynamic between your actual mom and dad? Was it like, okay, this is actually your mom?
Well, we were told, like, I overheard a conversation. I was 5.
Okay.
So I overheard my mom talking about it. And so I then shared the information with her. Oh. And then I wasn't supposed to tell. It was still like no, you're not. I'm like, we just look way too much. Like it was just a lie. They told us her dad was Strawberry. Like that was his name. It was the weirdest.
It was awful.
It was terrible. Like, and we were like, so we're not sisters. It just didn't. Then we got a little bit older. Then they were like, yes, y'all are sisters. And then we were like, what was the big deal?
Yeah.
We couldn't understand what was the big secret. Obviously we're going to get older and we're going to look at each other like cousins, but we have the same biological mom and same biological dad. And we even went as far as getting our ancestry because we were told she had a different dad, and that ended up not being true. Brody, stop. I'm so sorry. My dogs are so needy.
Brody, come on. You know the story too.
Stop. He has terrible anxiety. I'm sorry. Okay,
like, y'all leaving me out.
Right. Like, come on now.
Brody. All right.
So 5 years old, you over here, and Leon, jump in at any moment, okay? Yes. But at 5 years old, you overhear this conversation, right? And then they're telling you, no, that's not true. And as a child, it's like, is this something that's on, like, did y'all go to the same school? Did y'all grow up together?
Well,
it was like sometimes we went to the same school, sometimes we didn't. There were times where, her mom, I guess I should say our mom, would be mad about something, and then I wouldn't see her for months at a time. So it was just like sometimes they in, sometimes they're not. Then it was a period of time, like a couple years, where they did live with me, like we lived in the same household. So
it was very inconsistent. But yeah, it was based off my mom. I mean, it was a roller coaster. But from kindergarten to 4th grade, we went to the same school. We went to Mapledale, and then 5th grade and on to senior year, it was a mess because of a situation that happened in our family with both of us, and my mom decided that it was best that me and my brother moved to a different school, but then she had to sit in it. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So as you're growing up, you then find out that you're sisters. What was that dynamic between you? I mean, you grew up as cousins, so were you close as cousins to then also be close? Because I feel like it's a different relationship between your cousin and your sister. I have a few sisters myself, so it's very different having that. Like, sister is like your first best friend. Like, I always say, like, I don't need a lot of friends. I got sisters. Like, you know what I mean? So how was that dynamic of learning, okay, we're not cousins, but now we're sisters? Because I heard you say that you guys weren't always on the best of terms. So how did that relationship unfold?
I mean, it was a roller coaster ride. It was not, it was, she openly admitted to like hating me. So you felt it. It was no loyalty, it was no trust, it was no respect. It was just a roller coaster also. It was, sometimes we were cool, sometimes we weren't. It was just dependent on who she was with, who I was with, what friends we had. It was never stable, honestly.
No, I think the dynamic of the family went into our relationship, and us not having no direction caused us to continue to have, no direction until we could get to a point to where we have common sense, and I feel like sometimes that takes a little longer, especially depending on all the trauma that you have been through in your life. Sometimes you just a little delayed for a little period of time. So I think that until we got to a point to where we could be like, okay, let me figure out what I got going on. Let me heal from what I got going on. And then now I can address this, because I always wanted a relationship with my sister. I always wanted to figure out what is the core on why we just can't get along. And it just took, honestly, until maybe a year or two ago when, I'm in therapy and I'm like, dang, all of my problems really are caused by me being adopted. And I did not like my sister because she wasn't adopted and she got to live with our mom and she gets to see and have a relationship with our dad, and I'm just there. And that hurt my feelings for a long period of time, but I think it just took me the courage to say it out loud. Like, I felt a little silly that this situation caused me to hate the person that could have been there for me. And so it just, took a little bit longer for me to be able to be like, okay, this is my story and I have to accept it. And now I got to tell you how I'm feeling, because we're not going to get anywhere if I don't.
Growth. Okay.
Yeah. So how did you guys, how did you mend that relationship? Like, what did you actually do to, like, tangible things that you did to mend your relationship? Like, did you guys just sit down and kind of like talk it over, or was it over time? Like, what did that look like?
It was definitely real raw conversations. I mean, sometimes we would call each other 50 times a day. I also got to add this. I also got to say this. It's another thing I want to get off my chest. It's another, I mean, it was just, are we committed to healing our relationship? Okay, so we're going to have to talk about some real stuff. And from the smallest things to the biggest things, we just had to talk about, and we had to realize that this is going to be a journey, and I'm open to whatever I did wrong. I'm okay with, taking accountability and apologizing, because your feelings are valid no matter what. So I think it was just a matter of us committing to the journey of healing and okay with the really, really uncomfortable conversations.
I want to play this clip because you ladies just touched on it. But I believe this is one of your first clips on your social media page. And I saw it and I was like, wow. Because, like you said, having that raw conversation is very hard for a lot of people, whether, you're adopted, talking to your adopted parents, whether you're biological, siblings and not in an adopted situation. But I saw this and I was like, this is powerful.
Something that she had to also.
Let's rewind all the way back to the beginning.
She was given up for adoption, which is something that she had to also work through.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine that feeling of, that's like the ultimate rejection, I would say.
Yeah. I feel that was the first thing when our relationship has always been up and down, up and down. And we just got back close. It's been almost a year. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the first conversations that we had was me admitting that I would say hate because it was heavy. You, because
you said you hated me?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you were.
Damn.
You did the Kevin Hart. Damn.
Hey, that was the last year, sweetie. When did you say that? Damn. All right, that's okay.
Because you were the picked sister. I told you that.
That's funny.
Okay, I didn't know hate was the word.
It was.
Okay, that's neat.
I'm sorry.
The reason why I think that video is so funny because it encompasses a lot when you're communicating with someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's real raw emotion because you're sisters. Jasmine, you said something and Calais, you were like, oh, like you caught it and you were like, wow, like I don't remember that word from last year, but you sat with it and you accepted it and you said, okay, it like almost saying like, if that's how you truly felt, I really can't be mad at it. I have to accept it. I may have to swallow that uncomfortable, feeling and seat that I'm in right now as your sister. But I'm going to do that because I'm committed to working towards a better relationship with you. Yeah. That's how you hold space for an adoptee. And I think that it looked, maybe it wasn't, very easy to do at the time because we all have to have discipline with who we are and how we act, but it seemed so natural. And to me, I can only think it's because you are sisters. When you have that biological connection, you want it to work, right? You don't want, like, I never want to be at odds with my siblings, but it happens, right? Like it happens, but I want us all to win, love each other, but those moments happen. And instead of running away or ignoring your sister or saying, yeah, but you still was in a family, like making, those micro excuses for how she felt, you accepted it. And I think that is very powerful. And I think that more people need to see that play out. So Calais, when she said the word hate, give us the real and raw, like, of how that made you feel. You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all probably talked about it already, but how did that make you feel? And then I'll come over to you, Jasmine.
I mean, I was shocked because it did take me a minute for it to register. I'm like, hate? Like, that is very deep. Yeah. But I also am committed to this, and I don't. I mean, like I said, that was a hard conversation. That was very like real. Because I never knew that that's how she felt until that moment. But I'm also like, it made sense because I could not figure out for the life of me why this lady did not like me. And I loved her. I literally adore my sister. I wanted her to be my baby. Like, I'm like, she is so beautiful. She's the cutest baby in the whole wide world. I'm like, what's wrong? And then that moment, it all made sense. And I was so appreciative for the truth finally, and to know that we got through that and let's do this. Like whatever now.
Now, Jasmine.
Yeah.
Because hate is such a deep and big word. You know, it's such a, it's only 4 letters, but it's a big word, right?
Yes.
So, as an adoptee, give us the internal feelings of not being the picked sister and how that resonated with how you felt towards your sister.
I think, well, I would say it felt like I didn't matter. It felt like I was never enough. It felt like she had something better. You know, now I'm comparing. Like, what is she doing? What does she have that made you want to pick her and not me? And I know I get the dynamic of, you know, it just was best for me to be here. She couldn't afford me financially. I can only imagine what my life would be like, you know, if she did keep me. But then it's like, I still have to accept what that caused for me. And so I'm seeing them come to the house and leave. And I have to sit there and watch my brother and sister and my mom drive away and just know like I'm left in the situation. I just felt like I was never enough. And, you know, growing up and also just, I think that feeling just carried and watching her, you know, grow up and have things that I may have wanted. And I just would always, now I'm comparing everything that she did. I'm just like, I'm just never going to be her. Like I wanted to be her because she was picked. And that just hurt to the core because now in my adult life, you know, I'm like, now I just want somebody to pick me. Now I just want anything to make me feel like finally I'm chosen. Finally, somebody can see the value of who I am, just me being me. And for a while, you know, I would try to pretend to be her or, you know, everything she did, I wanted to do. And I know like siblings have that dynamic, but I feel like it was so deep for me. Like I wanted to study her, be her, everything her I wanted because she was picked. And so then, you know, I'm growing up and I'm like, now I don't like you for real like that because you were picked.
Ooh.
And now my energy is changing because, okay, I'm not going to be you, but now I don't like you. And that's when the battle started.
So it went from like an admiration, almost obsession to a hate.
Yes. But it took some time, you know, like it took a little bit of time. I feel like, of course, teenage, puberty. Yeah. Now I'm like, and then I'm like, I love the way that, you know, she has curves and hips and I'm over here like, really?
Stop.
Like, you can't get none of that. So now I'm irritated. Okay. Now I'm upset. So I just am like everything about her. I just was like, you are beautiful. You are it. I want to be you so bad, but I don't like you. Because
this is real.
Yeah.
This is so real. Cause like me and my sisters have conversations, but I mean, I there are things that I like about my sisters, admire about my sisters, but I never thought like that's something that you have that I wish I had, or like you know what I mean? And I wonder if they've ever had those thoughts, if they've ever had that running through their mind. And we're gonna have to take it to the sister chat. We're gonna have to take it to the sister. So we heard how you guys, you know, have mended your relationship and it has come, you know, full circle to the point where now you want to share that with the world. And that is awesome. I think you ladies, if you keep at it, you're definitely going to go far because this community is getting bigger and we're sticking together. But I want to get into, actually, before I get into this topic, I want to play this video because it's fitting for what we're talking about now because the dynamic kind of switches a little bit.
It was our parents that did not navigate this in a healthy way. It was our great aunt who was doing the best she could with what she had, trying to navigate something so heavy too. And it's like, as much as it made sense for you to stay with her and not be out in this world with somebody getting abused or
Right.
something like that. It was like best for you to stay there, but it should have been handled in a proper way.
Completely.
Like with adoptions, it's more, you know, they write letters, they communicate, it's very open, it's very honest and transparent.
Yeah.
Why was this a secret?
Right.
And then it's like nobody thought about the long-term effects of that, and now we're trying to undo all that and still
Yeah.
be present parents and be adults and be responsible individuals. And it's
Yeah.
like, I'm really truly still trying to heal this 11-year-old, and I'm there so much more than I'm here.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that, because I used to be like, girl, I promise you I do not hate you. The only thing that I was jealous of with her, because she always think I was jealous of her, but it was just her hair. Yes, I will punch you because your hair is better than mine. I'm a kid. I don't know how to express how I feel. Somebody should tell me, girl, you can buy it. Oh, well, shoot. Well, I can. I used to be like, I hated my hair. And, you know, what I hated the most about getting my hair done was where I had to get my hair done at.
Yeah, same.
So it was like, it was so much trauma with that. And it was like, if I had her hair, I wouldn't have to deal with all this bullshit that comes with going to go get my hair done. So that was really the only thing that I hated, was how beautiful you were and how beautiful your hair was.
Girl, we look the same.
But I always felt like, because maybe they did tell us that her dad was Indian and black.
Yeah.
So I always used to be like, I want to be Indian and black.
But isn't he Indian and black?
No. Our father?
What is he?
I don't know. White and black.
Oh. Right, I think when we took our ancestry test, I only had 1% more European in me than you.
Yeah, which was weird. But everything else was the same.
Yeah.
So that video, a few things in that video. But the first thing I want to point out is, you know, how the first video, you know, Jasmine was like, look, this is what it was. It was hate, right? Then Calais comes out and was like, I hated your, like, I wanted to have your hair. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so beautiful. Mind you, Jasmine saying the same thing. You're so beautiful. And I wanted to just do everything you wanted to do. And so that feeling, that sisterhood, that longing for that sisterhood for both of you was there. You know what I mean? And you both felt your own separate ways about each other, and being able to come together and express that in a setting where it's just like, all right, we're going to put it out there. We're going to have the conversation. We're going to accept what each other are saying. We're going to sit with it, right? It might be uncomfortable. This is the Adoptee Foster Show, where we say the uncomfortable things out loud. So that's another thing I can appreciate about your content and your life. This is honestly, it's not even content, it's your life. But another place, a couple other places, right? The adults in the situation, your great aunt. I was actually, when we were taken away from our biological mother, we were placed with our great aunt. Unfortunately, she passed away, and that's how we got placed into a foster care homes and then later on adopted. But as far as your great aunt, your mom, your dad, what did those conversations look like when you're expressing this confusion and saying, you know, we don't have any direction? What did those conversations look like for you ladies?
I guess it depends on who we talking to, because I mean, our family is so traditional, Black family. Everything gets swept under the rug. So you don't really talk about much, especially our great aunt. I mean, she just, you know, I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, but our biological mom, she's very open to having conversations, and she takes accountability. But she's also a cutthroat individual. And she may not say what you want to hear, and she may not even care about how you feel. This is where I was at. I made the best decision. What else you want to know? Our father.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I know y'all are on the East Coast like we are. Where on the East Coast?
Ohio.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So our father, he is in Michigan. So I don't even think we ever had a conversation with him about it.
Yeah, we had a conversation. We went up there.
Oh, when we was younger.
Yeah, when we were younger, and he was trying to tell his side of the story. I think at that time, I mean, I don't even think we were in a space to even believe what he was saying. Like I feel like some of it is like our family is like what we're doing right now, honestly, with this podcast. Our family is probably like
they got
their panties in a bunch, like
I'll hop in that boat with you.
Yeah, they are not, they are uncomfortable. They are literally like, please,
right,
y'all, be I'm like, we ain't dropping. I mean, first of all, this is our truth. So if you don't like it, turn off the phone. I don't really know what to tell you, but I mean, our dad is not, and no shade to him, but he just not the most aware person. So I give him a lot of grace. I do. And she doesn't, but I'm like,
but see, you know more of him than Jasmine does too. So you know people by their fruits. You know how they act. You know their mannerisms, and so you give them grace because it's just like, girl, that's him. Like,
and that's what I say. And with our mom, I'm like, that's her. That literally, she cares, but she like, what you want me to do about it? Like, it's over and done with. You were adopted. That's what it was. And you should be glad that's the type my mom would say. You should be glad I didn't get an abortion.
Yeah, no, she said that.
So you should be glad that I gave you to her and not this person. And it's like, okay.
Right. Okay, girl.
So Jasmine, how did that make you feel as the adoptee who was actually in a separate home, had to see your sister and your brother and your mom leave, and then try and have these conversations, because like you said a little bit earlier, like, I just want to be picked at this point. Like, you know what I mean? So how did that make you feel? And how did you work through that, your trauma of some of these reactions and answers that, didn't really fulfill you?
I think with being around our mom, I kind of understood the type of person that she was. So when we sat down to have a conversation, we did get emotional. We were very open, and she did let me know, like, the agreement that they had was that she could watch me from the window. And I think in that moment I cried a little bit because I'm like, I just wanted you to open it, like, come and get me. And so her and I had that moment of like, she was like, if I would have known, then things could have been different. And I feel like that conversation alone helped me so much to hear that she just cared just a little bit. Like, maybe if I would have said something, it could have been different. So the hope helped heal a little bit, that she actually was interested in me as a person. But everything else, like our dad, I don't feel anything. Like, I don't have a connection to be hurt about anything that he says, so I don't really, the value there to me is just void, all in void. I don't really, I've tried to have a relationship with him, but it's like, if he don't give effort, I'd be just done with the situation. And that could also be because I don't feel anything. So I'm looking for him to, pull me in and guide me, but he doesn't do that. And then with my adopted mom, my great aunt, she just has not lived enough life to even understand what's really going on. I think I tried to explain to her so many times that it just goes over her head, and I think we even have a video where I say there's so many people that are just so unaware that it's so hard to even sit down and have a conversation. And it's hard to build something with that type of person because you don't even know what I'm saying. Like, you don't understand when I'm trying to connect with you, like try to be intellectual. It just literally goes over her head. So at a point I just had to accept, like, I mean, this is who she is. Her and I have a rocky, relationship as well. And I have stopped talking to her a couple times because it's just like, I'm hurt and I'm in pain. I just want somebody to understand what I'm saying. And because she doesn't, I just disconnect.
Yeah.
That's been her history, though, is constantly just, and I don't know if that has to do with being adopted, but being able to just cut somebody like that, like cut them off completely. I'm like, how do you do that? How? Like,
When you live the life where people don't protect you, where people don't stand up for you, I mean, your first loss is when your parents give you away, and that sticks with you. I actually just shared a documentary with Precious. As a lady, she created a documentary about the primal wound. It's a book. I don't know if you ever read it. So it talks about what you experience as an infant when you're disconnected from your birth mother, and it talks about all of the emotions that you go through. It talks about how your body knows, that you've been disconnected from your mother. And it's actually a lady on YouTube. She actually did a documentary about this book. It's really good. Like, and the lady that wrote the book is actually in the documentary. So
wow.
we'll send it to you guys
Yeah.
um,
Thank you.
on Instagram. Yeah, and so when you are when you're used to trying to survive, you're trying to understand, like you're trying to. I call it like the twilight zone because that's how you feel. You're just out in the world. You're trying to figure it out. No one's like my family was kind of the same way. Like they would only talk about it if I brought it up. Like they wouldn't openly come to me and be like, "Hey, we know that you're adopted. We know that, you know, you want to look for your family eventually." I was the one that actually had to bring that up to my mother, to my adopted mom, because they're probably like your parents. They have really old school values, and a lot of those things they just don't talk about. They're not open. Their mind is not really open to that, and it could bring up memories that they don't want to talk about.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that that is an excuse to not have these. I mean, it's a reason why it's not happening, but it can't continue to, be an excuse of you not wanting to have this conversation because that's not what you're used to. Yet you're in a dynamic where if we don't communicate, there is no connection. I always say is communication leads to connection. Just like you two are going on this journey to heal and figure things out and have the hot conversations, honest, open, and transparent. That's how you do that, and that's how you further connect things you don't know about each other that now you do know about each other, and you can sit with and you can hold space for. And in adoptive families, when they have a history in their original biological family of sweeping things under the rug, and then you adopt a child that's not, in your case, y'all are all family. However, a great aunt is your grandmother's sister, right? That's your great aunt.
Mhm.
And so there's a generational gap there for one.
Yeah.
And so even if they can't have those conversations with you, they still should facilitate in some type of healing process for you, because your experience is not going to be their experience. The adoptee's experience is not going to be the adoptive parent experience.
Yeah.
You're having it together, but it's two different experiences. And that needs to be recognized and respected, because you're never going to see eye to eye when you're not trying to understand what you chose. That's my biggest thing with adoption. If you're going to choose adoption, choose the community too. And within choosing the community, that means I don't know everything, but I have someone in my community who knows something. you know as far as that cutting off piece, when you don't have a connection to someone, what really are you cutting off? Come on.
I mean, she will cut anybody off. I mean, everybody.
So that's if you don't have a connection to someone. But if you do have a connection to someone, right, and you choose to cut them out, cut them off, block them, whatever the case may be, I think that it's a defense mechanism. Is that something that needs to be worked on? Yes, that's something I need to work on. Those who know me, sorry, I'm working on myself. It's a defense mechanism of, if you're not going to be there for me, I'm gonna be there for me above all else.
Mhm.
Above all else, if you can't be there for me, fine, I'm there for me. If you don't want to be there for me, fine, I'm there for me. If you choose not to be there for me, fine, I'll be there for me. We choose ourselves because no one else is choosing us. Like you said, Jasmine, I want to be picked, right? And adoption is a form, definitely a form of being picked. Leon sent me some earlier. I still haven't listened to that voice note. Work has been crazy. But I did see the text message of, what do you think about the word chosen, right? And a lot of times we're referred to as the chosen. Oh, well, be grateful because they chose you, and you're chosen, and you're chosen, and you're chosen. And what I think about the word chosen is, it's all fine and dandy when you're talking about the adoptive parents and their choice, right? But then when you want to talk about our choices, the choices that we make, the choices maybe we're not connecting. And sometimes that's not a choice that we want to have. It's a choice that's not being, there's that safe environment that's not there for us to connect. There's that conversation that's not there for us to connect. It's that transparency that, a lot of stuff is just done in secrecy. There is no guidance, or, we give me all this information and y'all just want to do whatever you will with it. That's not connection. Telling someone a fact about their life is not connection. Sitting with them and asking them how they feel about it is connection. Asking them what they can do to help you through it is connection. Support is connection. Not dismissing what I just said to you is connection. So if you don't get that from people, or if people choose how they want to deal with you, then as an adoptee, you choose how you want to deal with them as well. And your choice and my choice may not be similar, but we both have to make choices here.
Yeah, that's true. I think even so with that, we had a video where I was like, at a point, I even became bitter. And now I'm like, nobody can do me no wrong. And I even was like, for our relationship, I'm like, do you know, like what your mama did? Like, I felt like nobody should want to hurt me again. Nobody should want to do anything to me, because do you know what I've been through? And then, I take that into, like, with my adopted mom. I'm like, you don't care? Like, does it not bother you that I feel this way? And when I'm not getting the response that I want to hear, or the feeling that I want to feel, then I'm done with you. Then it's whatever. Like, for a while she said she felt like she had to tiptoe around me, and if she didn't say the correct thing, I would be done. And that was true. Like, you couldn't tell me that I was doing wrong. Like, I don't want to hear it, because do you know, really? But she doesn't. She didn't.
It's funny. I heard my pastor say, I don't know if it was last Sunday or whenever, he's like, everybody want to expect the fruit, but don't want to get down to the root. Right? You want to say that, oh, I got to tiptoe, and I got to, if I don't say the right things, and, you're just a ticking time bomb. But every time I express to you where this is coming from, we don't get anywhere. There is no understanding. There is no, oh, I can see how you would feel that way. Or, you know what, explain it to me, because I'm not fully understanding you. We're not connecting on a level that you need right now. So I like your sister, I'm committed to sitting down and having this conversation with you. Honestly, it's not even we want people to do what we want people to do. Basic relationship starts at understanding. If I don't understand you and you don't understand me, you speaking French, I'm speaking Spanish, I don't really see how we can get anything done, really.
Right.
But if you teach me Spanish and I teach you French, then we'll at least be on the same playing level to where we understand each other. Right. And I think that sometimes adults choose not to understand, because understanding means we're gonna have to pull back the layers. There's layers to this, right? There's layers to your story. And although you guys, Jasmine, you were in a kinship adoption, meaning you were adopted with family. And so a lot of people think like, oh, well, you're adopted with family, you're good to go. And while I believe that children should stay in their biological family, if, as far as adoption is concerned, that's one of the ways where I feel like, adoption can be better, is where people actually, or children actually, stay with their families. But if we're going to stay in this family, because this is happening in my biological family right now, if we're going to stay in this family and you're going to choose to keep our family member in the family, let's be honest about it. Because what do we have to lie for? What do we have to hide for? Why are we not offering the truth when the truth should be the only option?
Exactly.
Why are we questioning if we should tell them the truth? When you think about it, it's like people are questioning, your family is questioning why they should tell you the truth. That's why we looking at the family sideways.
Exactly.
Y'all want to lie and connive and hide, and it's like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we creating more work for ourselves? Like, to me, that's creating more work for yourself when you can actually just tell the truth, sit with whatever is uncomfortable, but get through that hump, like get over that hump, because if not, we're going to be at the starting line, not going anywhere.
Right.
And that's an uncomfortable feeling for an adoptee. Sometimes it reveals why people adopt, and it's not for the reasons it's not for the betterment of the child. It's almost to say, well, we kept you in a family, so you should be grateful.
And that's the energy that they gave, was like, I mean, what's the problem? Like, I mean, why are y'all lying? We couldn't figure out what was the plan. Like, y'all was just gonna lie until how long? Like, we're gonna grow up. We're gonna start asking questions, and then it's like, if we ask questions, what's the problem? Like, then we're being disrespectful, and then we're I mean, this is also what, early 2000s. So just and it was our great aunt. So then we had to deal with her siblings. So that's just they born in the 50s and in the 40s. So it's just a different time. So it's like they just like, what's the big deal?
Right, let it go.
And then it just was no plan. So now we're in our 30s. We're like, good Lord, we got a lot of work to do. Because we still mad about something that happened when we was 7. We had to go all the way back to 7.
Yeah, we did.
And she was mad that I kicked her in her back. At like 7, I had to go all the way back.
Yeah, you were a little abusive. You was punching folks, kicking them. What's going on, for real?
That's what siblings do, I thought.
Now, does that play a role in how the both of you grew up, like apart from each other? Like, was there a different dynamic? Because Jasmine, it was just you, right? There were no other children. And with you, Clay, it was like, I have my brother, especially a brother. It's like, I got a brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he rough and tough. Like, could that have been part of that dynamic of, while you were so handsy and Jasmine was like, yo.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to be a sibling. No. She has no idea. I'm like, what's wrong? I'm like sharing and fighting and
I don't want none of that.
Yeah, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, girl, me and my brother fight every day. Like, what's wrong with you?
I still feel like I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to be a sibling.
That's profound. She don't know how to be a sibling.
She does. I'm like, you are not alone.
It comes with its own.
It's a learning lesson because, like, I brought my sister on the show, like, what was that, a couple of months ago? And, we're still trying to get to know one another, trying to, I think when you become an adult and you actually, like, you have your own lives and, you have your own things going on, but you still are trying to curate, a sibling relationship, it is tough because especially like if you're not close to one another, like far as distance wise, my sister She lives in Tennessee. I live in Maryland. So, we're just talking on the phone. So, you guys are right next to one another. So it's a different dynamic for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and the good thing you're not, you're only 15 months apart, because I have a brother who's 20 years younger than me.
Oh wow.
See,
My son. Okay, so when I talk to him, it's like, you better do good in school, and you better no girls alone.
yeah, that is
Like one of them things. So, and then it's
Wow.
hard to connect because he's at a different phase in his life, going into
Right.
college, you know what I mean? So being a sibling does come with, and then I'm the oldest, so it comes with a lot of responsibility. And sometimes I sit thinking, I'm like, am I doing what I need to do? I know there's a lot of times I fail as a big sister, and I'm not afraid to say that. I feel like I do. I don't know if my siblings feel that way, and some of them might, because there's some of them I don't talk to every day like the other siblings. It's 7 of us, okay? One of y'all got to keep other people company, okay? Like,
that's a lot of phone calls.
I'm working, right? So it is a lot. It can be a big responsibility, especially sisters, because again, I believe that your sister is like a built-in best friend. Y'all going to fight. Y'all going to, love on each other. Y'all going to go out and get dressed and go shopping. And, it's very different. And I'm sure, Calais, for you, it was a different dynamic, really being able to indulge in that sister relationship like you had with your brother. Like it's just a different, right? Wouldn't you say it's just a different feel of a relationship?
Absolutely. Like, I mean, first of all, I wanted her to be my baby doll. So, I mean, I adored her. I was like, she's just adorable. So, and then now we're older and we both are single now. It's like we having fun.
Be outside.
We outside. And it's like, this is fun. Like, we in a good, healthy space. We can go out and have a drink. I'm figuring out what she likes. She figuring out what I like. She figuring out how I operate when I'm single.
This side is crazy.
Right. It's so funny because I'm separated. So we both was in a almost decade relationship. So now we're both single, and she's never seen this side of me. And I'm like, I'm like, this is so much fun.
I have seen clips of you both having the conversation of Jasmine, you being a hard worker and your job is very demanding, and you know what I mean? Calais was like, you masculine. Like, look, I just want to be a housewife, and I just want to just stay at home, cook the meals. So you telling me that's not the case no more, Calais?
I mean,
we ain't got to get all into that. Seeing that clip, but now you done made an update.
Yeah, it's a new situation. So I mean, it ain't gonna be long though.
Hopefully, it can work out, and maybe time away is what you need. They say, what is it? Distance make the heart grow fonder. Is that what it is? I don't know.
Yes, because these streets ain't for me.
Okay, because you ain't been out there. Now you like, I don't know, hubby.
It's a little fun, but it ain't that much fun.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Another point that I wanted to bring out from the video that we just watched is you took DNA tests. So you were told that you were sisters, but what made you go a step further to take the DNA test?
Well, we wanted to do the ancestry because we were told mixed things about our background. Like and my biggest thing has always been, I just want to know where I come from. I want to know where did it start? I just need to know. I'm really am a storyteller, and I like to know. Like, I'm a creator. I like to know all this stuff. I like the details. So I'm like, let me go do mine. And then she was like, let me do mine. I'm like, because then we would really see if we are full siblings. And when we got the results back, I'm like, what? I mean, it just was like, why is everybody a liar?
This was before we knew who my dad was. For a while, we were told that we had different dads.
Yeah. Okay. So when we got the results back, and we was like, so
Right, it was like
clearly you're not. Yeah, it said full siblings, and we were like, what did y'all really think was about to happen? Like, we weren't gonna ever investigate, like, and then we weren't gonna reveal the truth. It's just the weirdest thing ever. But yeah, so we were like, let's do this and see, because we wanted to be sure about our background and what we were mixed with, because we was told so many different things.
It's weird how, I don't know if it's a naive or what it is, but do adults not think they were going to get older and go to college?
Right.
Minds of our own. And
I was nosy when I was younger. Like, I was a nosy kid. So, like,
right.
I knew, like, I talked about this before. I had heard rumblings that I was adopted, and I had blonde hair and green eyes, so I don't look like anybody in my family. And so from that point, I knew somehow I had to figure out what was going on, and stumbled across some adoption papers. I said, "Well, look at here."
Yeah, you low key look like our dad. I'm not even gonna lie. You got kids?
No.
You do look like our dad.
For real, like a light skin.
Like what?
Are you?
Not Ethiopian.
Ethiopian.
We always get Ethiopian now.
Probably because the olive skin color. Probably.
Yeah.
The olive skin color.
That's the sign.
Right, I've been outside.
She said, "Nope, we ain't Ethiopian over here."
Yeah.
All right, so I have this final clip that I want to show of you ladies. It's almost like a full circle moment. I think that's actually what you captioned it in on your channel. And guys, while you're here, please go and follow Sisters Figuring It Out on Instagram. Go follow them. Go support them. I hope this is not the last time you guys are going to come on the show. We have panels all the time, but definitely follow them, support them in their journey. Our community is growing, and we want their community to grow too. So definitely do that.
Dropped a link in the chat on Instagram too, guys, for you.
Okay.
About the documentary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this last clip, like I said, is like a full circle moment. It seems like our chat is definitely enjoying you. So thank you again, ladies, for being here. But to wrap this show up in this video, is some realizations that you have come to, and it was actually beautiful to see. So I wanted to show this as well.
That was a lot of the reasons why.
StreamYard.
I used to be like, girl, like, it's not that I don't like nobody. It's that the quality of friends that you are attracting, like, this don't make sense. Like, you're just trying to take anybody at this point.
I feel like I wanted anybody that was saying that they picked me in the moment, because I just wanted to be picked so bad. And that's where all of my issues stem down to me being adopted. And it's like, it's so simple to say now, because that is huge. And I used to, look for an adoption community. Like when I was on Facebook, I joined like an adoption community, and it's like emotionally, people are out here struggling because they feel. I was talking to this girl once, and she was like, "I just feel silly saying that it hurt my feelings that my mom didn't want me." And she was like, "And I'm at this big old age." I think she was like way older than me. She's like, "I'm at this big old age, and I'm still sitting here like I just want to be picked by my mom." And she was like having a conversation with somebody that doesn't understand. It just feels silly, so you just don't say it, and you just go through life not saying, "Really, that hurt my damn feelings."
Yeah, you are my mother. You brought me into this world. You could have lost your life bringing me into this world. And you're supposed to take care of me.
Right.
You're supposed to protect me. And you don't know what the hell you are putting me in. What position you're putting me in by giving me up for adoption. Especially if it's a closed one.
You just wishing for the best.
This is your child. This is your prize. But this is God's gift, and you just was like, I can't do it here. So it's like I respect it when like you really can't do it.
Yeah.
And you like, I would be putting you in the worst type of situation.
Right.
I can't imagine having to make that decision. That's so much strength and courage, but it's still on the other side of it. It's like you could just be like goodbye.
Right.
Like, how'd you say goodbye?
Or how are you even just, you say goodbye but you didn't because you still see me every day.
Yeah,
so
like,
you
so
just
it's
acting like there's nothing there. Like you just acting like I'm just nothing to you. That hurt my feelings so bad.
I was feeling it.
Yeah.
I wanted to show that video because, like you said, finding a community, not being able to express your feelings, feeling silly about it, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, why should I even say this? Like, people are probably going to look at me like, girl, you grown, you know, you got a life, you're doing well for yourself. But that doesn't negate the fact that these things or these experiences don't necessarily leave us, or they're fleeting. It's like they'll leave and then they'll come back, right? They'll leave and then they'll come back because our lives are forever evolving. We're forever going through different stages in our lives. Like you said, you ladies are on a newfound, you know, single journey, per se. And so that's a different phase of knowing who you are as an individual to even be ready for someone else. So I wanted to, ask, especially Jasmine, being an adoptee, and we know about the cutting off and, but how does that affect not even just romantic relationships with you, but even friendships? Because that's kind of how you guys started that video of, you're just going like your friends. I don't know about your choices. Like, how does being adopted affect those different relationship dynamics for you?
I mean, now it is like I'm figuring everything is so like, aha, all of a sudden now that all this trauma and everything is related to why I did pick friends. And, I had a daughter at 14, and I talk about how I just wanted a connection. Like, I just wanted somebody to be like, I love you. Like, and I really genuinely love you, even at 14. So then we create this baby, and I'm dealing with girls who slept with him, and I'm still wanting to be friends with them. And I'm just accepting anything because they're like, well, they said they were my friends, and they said that they liked me and they want to hang out with me today. So I want to hang out with them today because they're picking me today. And that little ounce was all that I needed, was somebody to be like, hey, you want to hang out? Sure. Even though you just, did what you did or hurt my feelings in whatever way, or you talking about me, or you throwing shade, and I'm finding out, but I'm still turning around and hanging out with you. So yeah, the quality of friends that I had were very trash. And she did not like that. And I think that played a part in our relationship too. Cause she's like, girl, what the hell? Like, and I'm just like, no, I'm about to go hang out with her though. Like, she said we was gonna be cool, we was gonna kick it. But now, even still, now I'm very mindful, of people. Now I can judge a character and not necessarily put my trauma in the situation. Now I'm able to step back, like, okay, let me get to know this person a little bit. I used to judge so quickly. Like, when I'm learning how to make better choices, I feel like before you find the balance, now I'm overdoing it. Oh, now I don't want to be friends with you. Day one, I don't really know you, but you rubbed me the wrong way. Like, and I used to roll that way as well. But now I feel like I'm able to pick a friend. I struggle with women though. I don't have really good relationships with women. They don't last long. And now I feel like, because I'm the friend who don't want my friend to go through any bull. Like, now I'm like, girl, okay, you're doing too much. But some people
big
are not
ready. Over there. You got big sis over there.
Right. But yeah, and some people are not in the space to accept that. And I have to be okay with them not wanting that type of friendship, and that's fine with me because, you know, I do feel like my sister is my best friend, and I'm cool with rolling with her. I'm cool with what we have going on, and if I can't connect with nobody else, I'm at the point where I'm just like, this is who I was meant to be connecting with, really. And I'm glad that we are in this space and able to have these tough conversations and, you know, get to a good space because, you know, at the end of the day, I never really meant any harm, you know, like I never really wanted to have this battle and be talking all this stuff about each other behind each other's backs or just being evil and nasty. Like I didn't really want that. I always wanted this. Right. And so it feels good that we are able to be here.
We have a comment from Menelik. He says, how do you find motherhood to be? Is it challenging or a blessing?
Oh, I think we just talked about how our parenting plays, you know, like our trauma plays a part in how we parenting now and how I was raised. Listen, my adopted mom, I could do no wrong. Okay. Like I could do whatever I wanted to do. And
she was very naive. She has been a virgin her whole life. She just doesn't know. She just does. And Jasmine would just be like,
once I caught on to that,
if her mom was going to bed, we was outside. You know, like she and we'd be like, we're gonna go take a walk. It's 2 in the morning. You think we really gonna?
I would say I'm gonna do a school project. Wasn't gone.
She just did not. She just didn't have it. She just didn't have it.
Yeah, so that wasn't helpful. You know, back then wasn't fun. Yeah, because then they would come up. We'll be outside till we could be outside. So it was a good time. But then now it's like, dang, okay, I didn't really learn much. You know, like I ain't have no structure, no boundaries, the parenting part. I'm just now figuring it out. And I have older kids, like my daughter is 19 and then my son, he's about to be 14, actually on Monday. And so it's like I'm changing a lot with my parenting now. And my daughter and I even have tough conversations because she's seeing the parenting changes and she got the 14-year-old parent.
Right.
And so we have challenging conversations because she says it's not fair. And I can totally get that. I totally understand because I'm a 14-year-old dealing with X, Y, and Z, all this trauma build up. The last thing I'm thinking about is how to heal, what to do, anything like that, or pouring into you. I don't even know what that is at the time. But now that I'm in a space where I have healed and I'm working on healing, I can now pour a different type of energy. And I'm wanting to do that with her. But, you know, she still sees me as this young parent. So it's like our dynamic, we're trying to figure it out. But my son, he does get, you know, this older parent and it has changed a lot. I'm able to, you know, figure out some boundaries. Am I still lenient? I still feel like that parent that I had growing up, I still have that completely like in me, but now I'm trying to find a balance. So
I hear that. Okay, so within you know, just to wrap up the show, because I think like this has just been an awesome show. Ladies have been very transparent. You've been everything that you say you are, you know, transparent, real, raw, having a hot conversation, honest, open, and transparent. What would you want? Because you have you're in a kinship adoption, and it's not necessarily like reunification because you always were in each other's lives. I think maybe your relationship just blossomed after realizing that you're sisters. But I want to know, even growing up and now that you're healing, how did you want things to go? Like what would have been ideal for you not to now have to heal from?
I think that the way that I would have wanted our relationship to go would have been, I mean, I would have loved to have been in the same household. I would have loved for us to have grown up completely together. And I would have loved for us to, like even with my brother, you know, like our relationship is kind of distant. Because do I see him all the time? Yes. But are we like connected brother, sister? Not necessarily. So I feel like I missed out on a lot of like older brother vibes, older sister, energy in the same household. I can only imagine what that would have felt like. So I would have loved to have grown up together, been in the same household, and just experience the full blown sibling relationship. And I think that if it was that way, I mean, we may not have had as many problems as we have had now, because we are bringing, she was raised completely different. And I'm over here, she thinking I'm living my best life. And I'm really not, like I want somebody to tell me no and to put me on punishment and get a whooping here or there, and she's over there, she's getting that, looking at me like, girl, you got it made. And I'm like, I want to be over there with y'all, So I think us living together and being raised in the same parenting would have changed our relationship completely. Do you think that? What do you want? How would you have wanted our relationship to be if I wasn't like adopted, right?
Yeah.
Girl, what you about to do? Oh, I thought she was about to fix my hair. How would I want our relationship if you weren't adopted?
Yeah.
I personally know my upbringing, and I know that she would have rather been with us, but it was hard. My mom was not emotionally available. My mom chose men over us, money. We were always alone. We were in poverty. We were just struggling. Me and my brother had to fend for ourselves a lot of the times. I remember at 15 or 16, my mom just packed up and was like, I'm moving to North Carolina. See y'all later. Left us in the house, and that was it. We had to figure it out. So, I mean, it was plenty of times where my mom just said, I'm about to go figure it out. And we were just left there. So, as an older sister, did I want you to be a part of that? No. So I was happy that she was safe. She had food. She had the essentials, because I didn't have that. I didn't have safety. I didn't have essentials. I never had stability. So, that's why now stability is so important for me, So, but I didn't want that for her. I'm happy that it happened the way that it did. And, I was happy that she was there, truthfully, because I'm like, girl, you don't want these problems,
Leon, so just hearing the two dynamics, what are you hearing? I mean, I've been talking a lot, and I'm going to give my, what I'm hearing, but what are you hearing between Jasmine and Calais? Because it's like two dynamics, but wants the longing of the same thing.
I think you can always want to be with your sibling. When I found out I had a sister, I wanted to know what she was like, and I wanted to know how she grew up. But like when I learned the story, sometimes, when we're going through it, it doesn't always feel or look good, but there is always a script that will bring you full circle. And I think you guys are in your full circle moment because you guys are realizing you had two different lives. You went through some turbulence with your relationship because it wasn't to your own doing, but your being adopted forced you to be a certain way when it really didn't have to. And it caused you to have a lot of feelings that, really, I think some of the feelings are normal. Like when you're adopted, you're like, well, why did they give me up? Why wasn't I enough? Why, what made them choose me over my sister? But when I look back, I wouldn't do anything different. Like, because, you know, we talk about this all the time. I had a pretty good life growing up, but that doesn't mean that I didn't think about my sister, or I didn't want to figure out where I came from or see people who look like me, because I never seen that until recently. And so, I met my father when I was like 26, and my sister, we talk on a consistent basis. And actually, I met some of my cousins on my father's side for the first time on Sunday. It was amazing. It was it was a feeling I can't explain. Like, they were welcoming. They were excited. They were really, they didn't know I existed. And so that's even more reason for me to go visit them now. That's what I see.
Yeah, I think Coach Chelsea here said it the way I was thinking. The old saying, "The grass isn't greener on the other side."
Hmm.
It's like Jasmine was like, "I would have rather have been over there," and Calais is like, "You ain't want this. Believe me, you didn't want to
Hmm.
be over here." And it's almost like it's like heartbreaking, but then it's like the heart comes back together because you do have this full circle moment, and you do have this time, and you're putting in the work, and you're dedicated and committed to the healing and the breaking of cycles, like great aunt, your great aunt slash adopted mom, and siblings would have never seen a day like this. So let's just sit down and have the conversation.
Hmm.
Right. As Mr. Noir, Lapeef Network would say, let's just have the conversation. And so this I can see, and I know personally firsthand, just having this platform, how healing these conversations are, because they are totally needed. Necesito. Like, it's needed. You know what I mean? And anyone that does not think is needed might have to reevaluate while you're having that type of thought, right? Like, because
Hmm.
Right.
that means there's something in your life that you're not addressing. That's how I see it. When people don't want to have conversations such as these adoptee conversations, these taboo conversations, it's like, okay, there's something in your life that you're not addressing, and that's that's your problem. But
Hmm.
me, I'm going to address these things because they matter. They affect me. And the only way to heal is to reveal. And so I thank you, ladies, so much for coming on tonight and revealing and just being open, and having a heart of forgiveness for one another, having a heart of openness, and just loving on one another. Because at the end of the day, you are all you have, right? You
Mhm.
are um, one last question: do you share the last name, or did you take your great aunt's last name? Is it the same last name or no?
No, I took my great aunt's last name.
And so, before we get out of here, one of the things I don't like about adoption is that there's nothing that says that you guys are sisters,
Mhm.
right? There's nothing in this world that says that you're sisters except for your blood. And I personally, don't necessarily like that. But what I will say is keep doing what you're doing, because no one can break your bond. No matter if it says it anywhere or not, your sisters, you have a strong bond. You're going to go through ups and downs, but definitely don't let time get in the middle of that. Bounce back quick and keep loving on each other, and keep being an example of even just sisters. You know what I mean? Not just an adoptee and a sister that wasn't adopted, but just that sister bond. I think, like you said, Jasmine, it's like sometimes you struggle having that relationship with a woman, and I think that you having that with your sister is definitely going to help you a lot. And other women who struggle in that area as well. So I would say keep going. But thank you, ladies, so much. I know that those who are watching have definitely enjoyed this. Guys, definitely show some love in the chat. Show some love in the chat. I think I saw earlier, someone was talking about a super chat. But I usually just put my Cash App because I'm not monetized. I haven't been monetized on YouTube, but I really don't do this for the money. I do it for awareness. I do it so people can feel comfortable saying the uncomfortable things out loud. But if you would like to donate, you can definitely donate to the Cash App that's scrolling. Leon, you have any final thoughts for this evening before we get up out of here?
No, I just want to thank you, ladies, for coming up and sharing your story. I commend you for actually, um, reconciling your relationship because a lot of people don't do that, and it doesn't matter like if you're adopted or not. Like, there's people who have brothers and sisters who aren't connected. They just aren't. They're not on the same wavelength, and I really commend you guys, and I hope that you keep going and you keep telling your story, and stay connected with us. Like we are trying to do something big here, and so with that said, thank you for coming up, and we really enjoyed you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much. This was so nice.
You're welcome anytime. We're live here on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. But again, we're grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With that being said, you guys know what I say. Be real with yourself so you can be real with everyone else. You guys enjoy your evening and have a nice Wednesday. We'll actually be live again here tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern for the men's panel. So if anyone is available, you can definitely just stop in and watch. We just kick it with the guys and hear what they got to say, chat. I don't argue with men. I give them the space to, I may give a little pushback, but I ain't pushing back too much. Okay, I don't argue with them. But I do give them a platform where they can express themselves and we have a conversation. So if you're available, definitely join us tomorrow at 9 p.m. But until then, guys, enjoy your evening. Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks.
See ya. Thank you.
Bye.